G'day guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I thought I'd just bring you a video on something I'm quite passionate about, and that's just watching anime. So I'm going to be talking about the last 5 anime that I've watched, and the score I've given it, and my reasons and opinions. But yeah, feel free to drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know your opinions down below in the comments, and maybe suggest shows that I should watch for the next time I do one of these videos. Or maybe I'll make a video on the next shows that I will be watching. Yeah, here's 5 of some of the most recent shows I've finished. And we're going to start with show number 1 here, My Dress Up Darling. Now this show absolutely ballooned in popularity, and it was basically over this girl here called Marin Kitagawa, I believe her name is. Sorry if I butchered that pronunciation. But she's basically best girl, and according to the community. And you know what? I kind of just agree, because she was a great character. She was definitely the best part of this show, in my opinion, and yeah, she really did hold the show together, and I feel like it was just a good, unique character, and she was just brilliant. The show overall, I think, was a little bit overhyped, just for me in particular, because I don't really watch anime as they're airing, because I hate the week-to-week wait time, so I tend to just wait till the whole show's finished airing or close to finished airing, so then I can just watch it on my own time and just binge it if need be. But yeah, I did wait until the end here, until I started watching it, but I did quite enjoy it. I just didn't enjoy it as much as others did. I believe on Mao the average score is like an 8.3 out of 10, something around there. And I'd probably give this show about a 7 out of 10. I could see an 8 out of 10, but I can also see a 6 out of 10 as well. It's really up to the individual, obviously, but I'd probably put it in the middle of those two and give it a 7 out of 10. Now, if we were just rating Marin, the character, I mean, that's easily a 9 or 10 out of 10. But yeah, the show in particular, I didn't think was as good as that character. But characters and being able to attach yourself to characters is what makes shows good in a lot of cases, and Marin definitely did that for me and for many other people. But yeah, I thought it started off quite strong, although there obviously is a lot of fan service and certain scenes in this show that you don't want to be caught watching, and it does make you a little bit uncomfortable, so probably don't watch this when you have other people around. Definitely keep the doors locked when you're watching this one. But yeah, I thought it started off quite strong, but I think the middle kind of just dropped off a bit for me, and then it picked up again at the end. But when they introduced certain characters into the show, I just wasn't really feeling it. I enjoyed the bond our two main characters had, and I wish it was just more of them instead of trying to bring in a couple more outsiders. But there'll most definitely be a season 2, I think, just with the popularity and the money they'll probably make off this series. So yeah, I'll definitely be watching season 2 when it eventually comes out. Moving on to show number 2 now. I'm going to keep these a lot shorter and sweeter. I don't want to be going over my time like I did with that one there. Is going to be 86. Now this is another show that was kind of overhyped to me and just a bit just not for me in particular. I mean, I thought it was an okay show. I know it was very popular amongst the community once again, and maybe that's why I'm giving them lower scores than maybe you think they deserve, just because I wait until the end of the season and I hear what's good and what's not, and that's normally why I pick shows that are rated good to watch, because I don't want to waste my time. And I wouldn't say I wasted my time watching this show. I'd probably keep it level with My Dress Up Darling. I'd probably give it a 7 again, but I'm pretty sure on Mao 86 is really, really high up there in the 8s as well. Maybe season 2 was even more, but this is mostly off season 1. I think I've basically finished season 2, maybe an ep to go, but I think I kind of like season 1 more than season 2, and I think that's a bit of I'm in the minority there. But for me, I just didn't attach myself to the characters, but I think that was intended, because I think in season 1 they really did want you to sympathize with those characters who you didn't know, because they made sure you didn't know, and then they revealed it in a hard-hitting, emotional type way. But yeah, this show just wasn't for me. Maybe I'm biased because Code Geass is one of my, if not my favorite anime of all time, and I saw this being compared to that, and I I mean, I can kind of see it with the mechs and that, but I'm not really a fan of mechs either. So I think this show just wasn't for me, and maybe I'm just underrating it because of that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. But I gave 86 a 7 out of 10 as well. Show number 3, we have A Ranking of Kings. This was a show, again, was very, very hyped and had really high ratings across the board. And I saw a few influencers tweeting about it and making videos on it. But obviously I wasn't going to watch the videos until I watched the show myself to form my own opinion first. But yeah, I absolutely loved this show. I thought the show was great. When you see the cover art and the art style, you might think, what is this? This isn't going to be anything good. But I was surprised with just how good it was and just how attached I was in those first few episodes. They're quite hard hitting, quite emotional, and I just fell in love with the main character, and it was just awesome to see. I think the show was pretty much great throughout. Obviously, there are a few questions, and maybe I didn't think they were answered properly, and a bit kind of how do you say, like, convenient the way certain things happened. But overall, I just loved the show and loved the characters. Quite a lot of characters too. I obviously loved the main character probably the most, but they just had a good, unique cast of characters. And the only thing I didn't really like was, I guess, the ending, because it felt a bit almost too good, you know? I feel like something shouldn't have happened there, and it felt like a bit too much more like a fairy tale, like Disney kind of ending where everything works out, blah, 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 when I don't think it should have gone that route. But I think a season 2 has already been announced, so I'm looking forward to that, and I'm going to give Ranking of Kings a 9 out of 10, where unlike the others, I think I've overshot the community's average ranking of this. I think it's in the high 8s, 8 point somethings, and I've given this a 9 out of 10. But yeah, Ranking of Kings, very much so in my top bracket of shows I've seen, that's for sure. Show number 4 now is going to be a show that I actually ended up watching on Netflix, and it's going to be Beastars, a show where the whole cast is animals, and a lot of people were quite positive about this anime as well. I wouldn't say it was as highly rated as the others I've watched, but again, this show had nothing but positive reactions from what I saw, and I think season 2's finished as well, but I only watched season 1 so far, and I didn't mind it. Again, it didn't blow me away, but maybe that's just because I had high expectations after hearing nothing but positive things, really, especially with the first season as well. And maybe that's just because it was on Netflix and everyone watched it and wanted to give Netflix the benefit of the doubt. I don't know, but for me, it was just a good, solid show. It's on par with 86 and My Dress Up Darling for me, and with that, I'm obviously going to be giving it another 7 out of 10. For me, I just I didn't really love any of the characters, and I thought the ending was kind of, again, just a bit weak. I wasn't really a fan of the ending. But, you know, I might watch season 2, not sure yet. But let me know what you guys thought, because Beastars for me just really wasn't it. It was just solid, nothing crazy. And now for my final show that I'm going to be rating and telling you that I watched here, it's actually going to be JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Parts 1 and 2. Yes, I know I'm very, very late to this. This is by far the oldest show that I've watched out of these 5. Came out in 2012, I believe, so it's a decade old now. And I liked it. I mean, it was parts 1 and 2. I thought it was just going to be part 1, but they do 2 parts in the one season, so yeah, so I'm basing it off both of the parts. I'd probably give part 1 a 7.5, and then part 2 probably an 8 to an 8.5. So I'll combine them and just give them an 8 out of 10, which is basically where the community has it on now. I think it's like a 7.9 or something, so I'm just giving it an 8. So I agree with the rating, and I don't know. I just love the OPs and EDs, especially in part 1. But I think I still did like part 2's just part 1 just seemed iconic to me. And I don't really know many of the JoJo memes, but there are small things that I'm like, oh, okay, that's from that. That's where they got this from, and blah, blah, blah. So I'm becoming cultured, and I'll hopefully finish more parts later on. and let me know if you guys recommend it. I know it's a very popular show, so I'm going to do my best to keep watching it and not get spoiled, because that's the worst thing. I don't want to get any spoilers for anything I watch. The only thing I want to know is that if it's rated good, so that I don't waste my time. Yeah, those are the 5 shows I've watched recently, guys. Let me know if you agree, disagree with my rankings, and let me know your thoughts down below, and maybe some shows I should add to my list to maybe watch for the next episode. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.